Hi there and welcome back to Planescape Torment. I am Byron and I figured out which option we have to use when talking to the con.
What is your will?
It was a little hidden. You have to ask, I wanted to ask you about our travels, and then there's a new option in here. When Fel was describing the tattoo on my arm, he said you knew the symbols. The symbols speak of four you have traveled with in the past. What four are
Updated
these?
my journal.
The two speaks of four minds. One was a woman who loved a man who knew her and knew not love. The other was a blind man who saw things no mortal eye could see. Another was a familiar, a mage's pet, bought and bound, and the last was a slave. And you were the slave, Dakon. Dakon is silent for a moment, and the surface of his blade swims as if in turmoil. Know that this one owed you a service. In owing this to you, it became a slavery. How did this come to be? And know that this tale is long. The matter is between me and the other one that was once you. Know that if you hear it, know it shall be a long tale. We already had that. Okay, this is no. We don't have to send it to the memory, okay. We already did that. What can you tell me of the four? The woman was young. She worshipped time, for in her blood she knew of things to come. The archer was a blind man, and he could see things that no other could see. The path of his arrows always led to the heart of an enemy. The familiar and the slave I know little of. See things to come? The woman's name was Dionara, wasn't it?
Updated my journal.
Know that Dionara was the name she carried. What do you know of the archer? I know little of him. I know he was a soldier. I know that alcohol had taken a portion of his life. In blindness he had come to know a different side. In knowing this he had become strong, yet he did not know his own strength. Do you know what his name was? Before the con can respond, you suddenly know the answer. There's a crawling sensation in the back of your skull and you feel the name surfacing, as if from beneath a great muddy ocean. His name was Xachaya. He was blind, but in blindness he had gained a second sight that allowed him to see things hidden to others. He was an archer, and when his arrows flew, they found the hearts of their targets.
Updated my journal.
Know that Xachaya was the name he carried, and know that his name pierced the heart of many enemies. Why did you not want to tell me about the four on the tattoo? The four are bound with a symbol that is known to me. What symbol? The symbol is Torment. Fel said that you have always worn it, for the flesh knows that it suffers even when the mind does not. Enough about the symbols. No. Can you tell me anything more about the four? Okay, we already had that. Do you know why we were traveling together? Know that the path was known to only you, and it was your will that we not know it. Know that those that walked your path knew only the symbol that bound them. Okay, so we have gotten some experience out of this, and the name of the archer is Xachaya. Very well. So we should head back to where? Probably the northeastern portion of the hive. Yeah. So, anybody close to a level up? Yeah, I'm not that far away from the 9th level. Ah, it's still a bit. Oh, Mort is quite close. Excuse me, why do you have like 18,000 experience points? When I have 123,000. Have I gotten you too late? Why are you so heavily, so under-leveled? Okay. Can we just go in here now?
Done. I'm gone.
Box. No, we don't have to be smuggled, right? Can talk to the gate guard. You see a pale-faced dustman standing guard over the front gate. He is staring off across the city rooftops with a distant expression. As you approach, he turns to face you. Yes, I had some questions. He nods and waits. I'd like to enter the mortuary. What is your purpose in the mortuary? I'm here to pay my respects to Dianara, the woman in the Northwest Memorial Hall. Very well, follow me. Well, that was easy. So, stairs to the 2nd level, it says. Here. Okay, let's go to the northeast preparation room.
All right. I'm gone.
Where's the rest of my party? Okay, they took different paths. Okay, use your story bones tell ability on the corpse. Okay. How about this one? The spirit blasts back into the body with such violence that with a single great muscular contraction the corpse is hurled backwards. The body is on its feet again in an instant, dancing and thrashing about madly, waving its arms and popping its stitches, flaps of loosed flesh flopping about as it prances to and fro, eyes googling and rolling about in its head, giggling madly all the while. I have a question for you, spirit. The possessed corpse sings as it leaps and whirls about, the volume and pitch of its voice rising and falling in random pathos. You are the spirit, I, the living. Answer my questions, you shall. Your confused expression seems to please it. It hooks its bony fingers into its mouth and pulls it into a ghastly grin, laughing maniacally and waggling its pasty white tongue. Very well, ask your question. The spirit seems to become calm for a moment before exploding into a stream of mind-numbingly loud, babbling nonsense. The cacophony is almost maddening. It threatens to drive you to your knees. And as abruptly as it began, it stops. The corpse stands there, twitching quietly. I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat it for me? The spirit seems to become calm for a moment before exploding into a stream. Yeah, it's the same. I do not understand. However, I do have a question. Okay, well, that doesn't lead anywhere. As the spirit fades away from the corpse, its jabbering mouth twists into a knowing smile. Its wide, flashing eyes bore into you with the piercing glare of a psychopath, and it whispers a single, cruelly formed word drawn out like a string of precious pearls. Limbo. What? And with that it is gone, leaving you no better off and feeling slightly unsettled. The zombie quietly resumes its work. So, are there no more stairs that lead upwards? Yes. Those lead up. Third floor, okay.
All right.
Is this a door? No.
I'm gone.
Who are you? Use your story's bones tell ability on the corpse. For a moment you think this corpse is simply too far gone to reply, but suddenly you recognize true misery etched into its features and feel behind it a sense of despair so profound that the spirit must have returned to its shell of old. I would ask you a question. It speaks in a slow monotone, the voice of one broken and without hope. Even now it is nearly indistinguishable from a soulless zombie. What would you know, my lord? Who are you? The spirit speaks so softly you must strain to hear it. The corpse's mouth barely moves from each word. Moves to form each word. I am no one, my lord. As a wretched insect clinging desperately to the wasting tower in Onios. I was once called Arabhim, though, my lord. So long, so very long ago. The wasting tower? Yes, my lord. This is a mighty tower far greater than the highest of sigils. It has the appearance of bone, my lord, like the spinal column of some gargantuan creature. It is there that I toil, repairing the damage done to it by the armies of my master's foes, his rival princes. Who is this master? I know him only as the master, my lord, the lord of Kin Oin. He is a fiendish prince, an ultra-loth of awesome power. It is he who owns my soul, and so shall forever own it. A petty thing, doomed to languish beneath his foot until eternity grinds its way into oblivion. Tell me of this Kin Oin. Yes, my lord. This is a mighty tower. No, this is new. This is a mighty tower, far greater than the highest of sigils. No, this is not new. Oinos? The spirit closes his eyes for a moment, the corpse shuddering slightly. The horrid Oinus, my lord, the great waste. It is there that my soul has been confined in the shadows of Kin Oin, the wasting tower. Tell me more of this Oinus. There's little to say, my lord. This is the land of my master, the lord of Kin Oin, full of anguish and disease, a rot which decays both body and spirit. It is a place of utter hopelessness. Okay. Where are you from? I lived in Sigil, my lord, in the Hive. It was not so awful a place as I once thought, now that my home is Oinos. The corpse blinks so slowly that for a moment you thought it had simply shut its eyes. The Hive? Yes, my lord, a wretched place, but not so dreadful as Oinos. Okay. How did you end up here, as a zombie, I mean? I was murdered, my lord, by robbers. Filled with drink and stumbling through the alleyways of the Hive, I became lost and eventually fell prey to a band of thugs. It's just as well. My life was probably worth less than the few coppers a collector may have gotten from for my corpse. Why such a base opinion of your own life? I would not speak of it, my lord. It's not worth discussing. The spirit seems immovable in this matter. Very well. Other questions then? A collector? Yes, my lord, a collector. Those who gather the dead of Sigil and haul them to the mortuary, where we stand now, for a petty fee. The spirit takes a moment to look at his surroundings, then sighs softly. What do you know of this mortuary? Very little, my lord, only that the dead are brought here to be interred or cremated, or used as laborers as my corpse has been. Where are you? Where does your spirit reside now? The spirit closes his eyes for a moment, the corpse shuddering slightly. The horrid Oinus, my lord, the grey waste. It is there that my soul has been confined. Okay, we already had that. Does not sound like a pleasant place. Why are you wrought with such despair? There's nothing else for me, my lord. Trapped for eternity in the pestilent waste of Oinus I am. There is no hope for one such as I. The spirit seems to descend into an even more pathetic state, the corpse shoulders sagging beneath the weight of its sorrow. What do you know of this place? Very little, my lord, only that the dead are brought here to be interred or cremated, or used as laborers as my... okay. You do not realize the spirit has left the corpse until with shuffling steps the zombie returns to its labors. So I have now banished the spirit back into the hell it came from? So, what else do we have?
All right.
Just looking around.
All right. Done. Done.
Okay. This actually has something. The number 1146 is carved into the forehead of this walking corpse. Its lips are sewn together with coarse black thread. The entire body is covered in horrible scars, worse even than your own, as if the owner had been burned to death. Its nose, ears, and several digits are missing, presumably charred away in some long ago conflagration. As you block its path to get its attention, it stops and gazes at you with vacant eyes. The odors of fuming sulfur, cooked hair, and scorched blood assault your senses as the spirit returns to its one-time home. The corpse collapses to the floor almost immediately, shuddering violently as it clutches at itself and moans pitifully. You can almost see thin plumes of stinking smoke curling off its body and limbs. Are you alright? The spirit opens one eye. The orb's witness stark against the grey. No, the orb's whiteness stark against the grey, puckered flesh that surrounds it. It slowly turns its head so as to peer up at you, the blasted and scarified flesh of its face and neck pulling taut over the bone. It finally croaks from its ruined throat. No, I ain't. You pickin', alcove. Is there something I can do to aid you? The spirit begins to laugh but stops abruptly, spasms wildly, and vomits up a steam of embalming fluid and black putrescence. Wrecked with pain, the spirit begins to hack and cough occasionally, pausing to spit yellowish fluid and loose stitches from between its ruined lips. Wait patiently for the fit to end. The spirit's horrible coughing finally settles down. No, Burke, you can't. Unless you're gonna dance into Beator and rescues me, I've hit the blinds. Time for my penance. The spirit closes its eyes and rests its back on the floor. I see, I had another question. What could you possibly want from me now, Burke? The spirit occasionally writhes about, patting at itself as if it's trying to extinguish various small fires on its body. Who are you? None of your business, leave me be. Where are you from? For the love of the powders, who cares? From Sigil, you piker. How did you end up here as a zombie, I mean? How do you think, clueless? The spirit outburst sends him into a short fit of jerking, painful coughs. I signed the meat away for a bit of jink, pink and dusters. And right then, can you believe it? Some balmy wizards decides to blaze the hive to flame in oblivion with me stuck right in the middle. The spirit mumbles evilly for a bit, steaming fluid bubbling out from the corners of his jagged slit of a mouth. A wizard burned down the hive? Yeah, the hive, the worst part of Sigil. I've never seen so much fire in all me life. I ran this way and that, trying to get away, but everything was just bursting into flame. Buildings, streets, folks, and the kids, and that thrice-blasted wizard just laughing all the time. I turned a corner and thought I got away for a bit, but the next thing I know, me pinking head's on fire. It pretty much went downhill from there. The spirit's opened eye shines with a malevolent light. Who was this wizard? Don't know. I was pretty well and cooked before anyone stopped him, if someone ever did. I think I remember some peeps chasing after him at the start of it all, shouting his name. Ignis. I'm thinking it was Ignis or something like that. I sure hope that Pinker's in a worse hole than me. Okay. So that's a possible party companion, Ignis. Where are you? Where your spirit resides now? Where do you think your leather-headed basher, Bartor, in that stinking dunghole they call the Phlegetos? Burn, 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 that's all I do. I burned to death in life, and now I's burning in death. Ah, the corpse gnashes its teeth in fury. The irony is just sickening. When I gets out of here, I'm gonna lose so many swords in this damn hole. Heh. Why would you wish to inflict your fate upon others? Revenge, you addled cough. It's gonna gets them all those that crossed me, especially that wizard. It's gonna tear off his wee bits and shoves them down his throat. Then I'll throw him in this stinking hole, wee bits and all. Him and a few more for good measure. You are a vicious, petty little man. Your fate seems well deserved. The spirit makes a wet, snarling noise. Its cracked, blacked lips pulling away from the crooked yellow teeth. Just you wait till I gets out of this pit. I'm coming for you first, Berg. You do that. I'm not one to fear the likes of you. The spirit manages a weak guttural growl and spits at you. The foul stuff lands several inches short of your feet. Exhausted, the thing slumps back at the floor, and life begins to fade from the corpse once more. Well, that was unpleasant. No, I'm not lost. I'm here to see someone. Dayanara. Most likely, thank you. Okay, let's take a look. Where's the Seer stairs? Let's go down. This is the second level. We need to go down. Oh, there's somewhere stairs leading down. Those stairs lead up. I mean, it says stairs up and down, so I'm assuming there's also stairs that lead down. Yeah. Just around the corner, really.
All right.
Let's see whether we can... There's Dayanara.
My love, you have returned to me. Can it be that your memories have returned?
I had some questions for you. Can you tell me who I am? No, she has nothing new.
I shall wait for you in death's halls, my love.
So, let's see. Let's head over here.
All right. Done.
You see a male corpse with the number 331 chiseled into his skull. His eyes and lips are stitched closed and there's a gaping hole torn in his throat. He smells foul. Okay, we use our Stories Bones tell ability on the corpse. The zombie is awkwardly greeting his voice, getting his voice back, and he sounds alarmed. Who is there? Answer me. Zachariah? What? You? The zombie seems shocked, but gladdened by the lady's gaze. His tone takes on a sense of wonder. Aren't you dead, Cutter? Who are you? So it's hard to peel away this filthy shroud skin and see old Zachariah the fool beneath. It is I, Cutter, blessed be the powers. I thought never to see you again, but you have changed too, as far as my eyes can tell. Have you been making poor choices again? Zachariah wheezes from his throat hole. Be you dead too? It's a long tale, but no, I'm not dead. Well, Cutter, I suppose being dead it's not something one would doubt. Though how can you talk to me? Your voice is as clear as a knife. What are you doing here? I'm a stable hand in the most lifeless places of all. Be it that I could pass beyond the eternal boundary and have a plane to call my home, but much of my soul was squandered and now I am here. What's it like being a zombie? It's honest work. The stitching comes undone from Xaraya's mouth and the flesh around his lips peeled back in a smile. I care little for it. I had some other questions. What led you to this state? His voice drops as if ashamed. It's a hard path following in your footsteps, Cutter, and many terrible things did I see. I took to drink and became half sodden with the stuff. Once, when I was sodding drunk, I signed my bodies off to the Dusties. Fate decided to kick me when I was down, and I died shortly afterwards. What can you tell me about the mortuary? A place of the dead, run by the dead. There are some things not right here, though. Like what? I'll tell you the dark of it. There's a zombie that pretends to be a zombie but isn't. I don't care much for knowing the reason why, but it's a strange thing. Which zombie is it? Even if my eyes allowed me to see him, I can't make sense of numbers. Here's how you'll know him, Cutter. His voice is wrong for a zombie. He doesn't respond the same way as the others. Anything else strange about the mortuary you've noticed? Another thing, that old Githzerai, the one that keeps the preparation room dull. He saved you from cremation a score of times. You're lucky to have a friend in that one. What did Dahl do to save me exactly? He just postponed your cremation until you popped up off the slab. Not certain why, really. Interesting. I have some other questions. What can you tell me about my previous life? Why, have you forgotten yourself? In a manner of speaking, yes. Well, you were a strange one, always suspicious and watching for something. Reckon somebody like you had got enough enemies in your lifetimes. And there was no denying that anybody who messed with you ended up in the black chapters of the Dead book. Anything else? Any specifics? You could be damnably ruthless too, like when you made me sign that contract or abandoned that one muling chit on Avernus. We had a Baelor of a time as well. None of us ever even entertained the notion to jump ship on your watch, son. I see. What else? Anything you would tell me that would help? At your core, you looked at what happened to you like taking territory in a war. Everything was like a battle to you, and you were the most ruthless bastard I ever met. Nothing else mattered except for solving that goal. Poor Dionara, with her sobbing and pleading with you, didn't sway you none. The Gith warning you about your strategies, and poor Saraya just trying to hold on when we hit the plains. You were tough like you couldn't die, but we were only human. Now I guess we're all in a dead book, or in and out of it, so to speak. Dionara? The feisty chit who would be a soldier swore she'd follow you to Baelor and back, and by the powers, she was so addled by the thought of you without her, she was just that. She was so addled by the thought of you without her, she was just that. Cared little for me or the Gith, and a bare little it was. She was wild with her heart poison for you. She was proof she was balmy. I don't understand what the woman folks saw in your scarred mug, but it set their blood aboil. She was some rich scut from the clerk's ward, and you needed something from her, and the only price was that she came with you. What did I want from her? One of the darks I never bring to light, Cutter. Perhaps you tell me. I don't know myself. I had some other questions. Okay. The Gith? What do you mean? Grim-looking Gith, unfriendly and silent like all their kin. Didn't trust that Gith a lick. I didn't. See, Cutter, them spindly Giths are only about two things: keeping out of slavery and killing some squid-headed illithids. Everything else is just lower down the slope, and he didn't give a damn about any of us other than you. Why was that? Okay. He doesn't know. Let's see what else we can dig up. Anything else? You left something when you left us, Cutter. You left a con without a master and a skull without a friend. Me, you stabbed something so deep inside me it never came out when I was alive. Caused my blood to run cold, it did. That thing sitting like a lump of lead in my chest. What is it? I don't know, but it changed me somehow. Changed my insides. I was already dying when you put it in me, so I wasn't too concerned about it at that time. Can I have it back? It's buried deep, but I have an idea of where it is. Without a scalpel and some directions from me, you won't be able to get it out. You got a scalpel? No, but I ought to be able to tear the stitches. Then open me up half a hand's width below the sternum and feel around for it. Okay. A little more to the left, a little more. Your hand closes on an object. Pull it out. You pull out a zombie liver. By the lady's gaze, apologies, Cutter. I thought the dustman took all the organs out of us before putting us out of the dead book. Give it another go. Maybe do it. Maybe it's to the right. We do it again. There you go. Now go a little to the right and back a little more. You feel something hard and cold and slightly larger than you expected. I think that's it. Pull it out. And we do. You're holding a blackened fist-sized object that is extremely heavy for its size. That's it, alright. Huh? Bigger than I thought it'd be. Is that what it looks like? It looks like a heart. I think so, yes. Thanks, Sir Araya. I had another question. Holy shit, what can you tell me about my previous companions? A motley crew we were. A half-dead man who couldn't get himself penned in a dead book if he tried, so ugly all the powers of death would take him. A wailing advocate's daughter, a Gith exile, a bobbing jackal-tongued skull, and a half-sodden blind archer like myself. Okay, the Gith. Yeah, okay, we already had that. Wailing advocate's daughter. Yeah, okay, we already had that. The floating skull. That filthy talking skull was hankering for a bruising, so it was. Always smarting off it was, and making fun of my condition. Okay. You were a blind archer? That I was. You truly have forgotten, haven't you? All men see with more than their eyes, Cutter. Some of them better than others. I sense the hearts of my foes, your foes, and my arrows always stuck through. Ah, those were the times. Okay. I must leave. Farewell, Sararaya. Before you go, I need you to do me a slight favor, Cutter. What is it? His voice drops as if ashamed. I made some mistakes, some damn bad ones to be sure, and one of my biggest was signing the Dustman contract. If I hadn't been so sodden with boop bop, I never would have done it. I regret it. I was hoping you would set it right. How? Well, I reckon this body gonna last a long time, and every day's too long for me. Would you maybe gut me again, Cutter? For old time's sake? The thought of spending another batch of years here in the mortuary with these white faces is a mighty cold one. Can you see fit to put me back in the dead book where I belong? If that is your wish. You got him. And Sararaya falls to the floor with a heavy thud. There's a faint hiss from the body and you see the chest heave once, then a faint rattle. The corpse goes silent. Rest in peace, Sararaya. And I guess we get some things. 9 gold coins. What did he give us? Sararaya's heart. Okay, +1 dexterity when broken. Permanent +1 to armor class versus missiles. Usable only by fighters. This blackened, fist-sized object looks more like a lump of burnt charcoal than Xeraya's heart. It is extremely heavy for its size and cracks run across its surface. It looks like it might break in two at any moment. Handling it leaves strange rust-colored streaks on your hands that won't come off. Something about this object's weight makes you curious enough to study it for a while. Upon close examination, what you first took for Xeraya's heart is in fact a stone. As far as you can tell, there is no sign that it was ever living tissue. How Xeraya survived this beating in his chest is unknown. Whatever blessing was laid upon Xeraya's eyes that allowed his arrows to fly true has left its mark upon his heart as well. When Xeraya's heart is broken in two, the breaker of this heart will gain a portion of Xeraya's sight, agility and perception. This gives the breaker a bonus to their dexterity and a chance of spotting and dodging any missiles aimed at them. Interesting. And we have Xeraya's liver. Xeraya's liver looks like a huge dead slug. It has the texture of a wineskin that has been sitting in a mud puddle for a few years. Enough embalming fluid has been pumped into the organ to preserve it, but the smell of rot and the smell of formaldehyde seems to be fighting for dominance. Okay. Nothing new for our journal, but some interesting conversations. And we will take a break. This has been a long video. So Really? Why not?
All right. I'm gone.
Are you lost? Yes. Okay, yeah, I want to leave, that's fine. I will summon a guard to direct you out. Hold a moment, we wait. The dustman takes a step back, then claps his hands together sharply 3 times in response. The great iron bell starts tolling throughout the mortuary. Alright then. No, this is not what I wanted. Okay. I will end this video here and we will see each other in the next one. So thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Goodbye.